going on, investors? Today we're going to be talking about MP Materials. Now, this is a stock that recently shot up because of a great earnings report. MP Materials is the largest producer of rare earth materials in the Western Hemisphere. They have a zero discharge operations in Mountain Pass, California. See, there are some good things about California after all. Rare earth production has started at Mountain Pass since about 70 years ago. I'll try to keep the science terms in here pretty simplistic. This isn't chemistry class. I'm not Walter White. I just want to find out if this company can make us money. If I was Walter White, I'm sure I'd tell you to touch that like button for the algorithm and subscribe. MP has about 15% of the global rare earth supply market share, and these materials are used in such products such as electric vehicles, wind turbines, drones, robots, and other technology. This is huge in the renewable green energy space that countries across the world are starting to scramble on. Another reason that investors may like MP is that they are an American company headquartered in Las Vegas, Nevada. And that's huge because most of the rare earth materials on this planet is currently found in China. And there's bipartisan support to stop the US's reliability on China. China is actually rumored to be potentially limiting the amount of exports of rare earth materials, which can only help the demand for MP. You can tell that's definitely concerning to hear if you think about all the devices that we use every day and where they originate from. Other than China, there's not many other options. Remember, the location in California is the only rare earth processing facility in the US. MP itself is a relatively new company, only founded in 2017, and they went public through a SPAC last November. So they have limited financial records, and this is definitely a growth stock, not yet an established blue chip company by any means. But they have been reporting some great growth in their financials. For Q4 year over year, they were actually up a whole 100%, going up from $21 million in 2019 to $42 million by the end of 2020. And for the full year, they were actually up from $73 million to $134 million. That's an 83% increase year over year. They actually had a record quarter for both shipments and revenues. Now, their EBITDA margins are also looking pretty good at around 34 to 43%, which if you think about how much overhead goes into mining, these are some really good margins. When looking at their outlook for next year, they only actually anticipate a modest volume growth for the full year. And they're going to be investing heavily into Stage 2. And Stage 2 is something that they kept emphasizing during their last earnings call. So what is Stage 2? Well, Stage 2, straight from the CEO's mouth, is a plan to move from today's profitable concentrate production to separating rare earth oxides, or REOs, and that's going to allow for restoring downstream production of these critical elements in the United States. Once this project is completed in 2022, they will scale toward a full annual run rate of production of more than 6,000 metric tons of NdPr, which is a rare earth element that is high in demand for EVs. EV motor magnets for electric powertrains are expected to 15x in the next decade. NdPr today goes for around $88 a kilo per their CEO, and I expect that to only go up in the future. They say that Bitcoin is a great digital currency because it can't be replicated. Maybe we should start trading with rare earth elements as currency. It retains its value and it can actually be used for something. But MP updated us and said that Stage 2 is on track. They have the equipment, they have the engineering, and the procurement contracts all set up to do construction. And that's going to cost around $200 million. I think it's impressive that MP is still on this 2022 target. How many companies these days are just using C19 as an excuse to just delay everything into the foreseeable future? By completing Stage 2, this is going to cause lower operating costs going forward. This is going to allow them to have more significant opportunities toward profitability as well as positive cash flow. They are aiming to be the world's lowest cost producer of precious commodities and trying to do it in the most environmentally friendly way possible. MP believes that there's going to be hundreds of billions of dollars invested in the next 5 years to get away from the combustion engine, and they believe that MP provides the picks and the shovels for companies around the world to achieve that. Picks and shovels, of course, is a reference to the gold rush, where equipment sellers got really rich selling their picks and shovels to those in search of gold. Now, MP doesn't need to care about who wins the EV race. whatever company that might be. They just need EV cars and green technology continue to be produced. And that should only be accelerated as more and more states and legislatures ban combustion engines, which could still be a while. MP is now profitable in their last 2 quarters, which is almost unheard of for a smaller, newer growth company like this. So here are my key takeaways. The company offers in-demand materials for essential products. These are the EV motor magnets and other renewable energy. And because we rely on this so much, the price for these materials is likely to keep rising. MP basically has a monopoly in the Western Hemisphere on rare earth materials. It's hard for competitors to be able to enter the space. This is going to cause the US to invest more into America and less into China. They're also working really hard and investing a lot of money into lowering operational cost via refining separation. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel and hit that like button if you found this informative. This is a super small channel, and the more likes and comments it gets, the better it will do in the algorithm, and that motivates me to make more videos. Make sure you follow the Collect Cash podcast on wherever you listen to podcasts, and I will buy, stash, collect cash you later. This is for educational purposes only and not investing advice.